Here at Vibe Science, ultimately, we're here to empower you to your best self. It's about mind, body, and energy. And you know what? When you work out a lot, when you're eating a healthy diet, it's hard to get enough sodium. It is one of the most important factors in hydration, and hydration controls so many variables of how we feel, how our brain thinks. That's why we're proud to partner with Warrior Salt. Hey, we like to take the BS out of stuff. This is no bullshit, just electrolytes, straight fruit powder and salt, the real deal. I love this product because it's simple. Sometimes we get overcomplicated in the supplements we take, but all I know and what I've learned and the science has proven is you have to have enough salt for that balance of hydration. This stuff mixes really easy with water, as you see. You got to be watching the YouTube to get the full effect of this. How easy that mixes in, and a very simple citrus flavor that's delicious, easy to drink, and perfect before and after the exercise to stay hydrated. Look, if you're already thirsty, you've waited too long. That's why you need Warrior Salt, official partner of Vibe Science and Ryan Alford. Delicious and will keep you hydrated all day long.
Going back to my sauna experience, it was like night and day. All saunas do this to a degree, but the relaxed sauna, because it has 100% of that loving light, what it does, it gets you into the parasympathetic nervous system where there's no time. Doubt is very helpful. Doubt is the way to get you into your heart. It's really healthy to doubt because you question beliefs instead of being like a sieve. Like when we're born into this world, we're like a sponge. Anything they say, we just believe. There's a particular attitude or word that is the most purest and highest vibration that we can have. And it's the attitude of authenticity. And that to me is when you're surrounded by divine love, you're grounded, and there you are balanced. And that's when you're authentic. And getting in the relaxed sauna really brings that sense of authenticity to me.
This is Vibe Science, a top 100 wellness podcast presented by the Radcast Network, breaking wellness barriers and making health truly personal. Here are your hosts, Ryan Alford and Chris Hansen.
Hello, and welcome to Vibe Science. We're always taking you to your highest vibe, because look, we're here to empower you. We're your guides. We're curating the best of modern wellness, alternative wellness, and of course, everything is needed to keep your energy up, your mind in the right place, because look, we don't know it all, but we're here to empower you to take control of your own personal wellness. I'm Ryan Alford. I'm always joined by my good friend and co-host, Chris Hansen, down in Miami. Hey, Chris.
What's up, Ryan? How are we today?
I'm great. The vibe's high as always. I'm excited to talk. One of your favorite topics. I hear Chris talk about sauna all the time. And, you know, usually in his stories, I'm like jealous. I'm like, I got to get some time for some sauna. But we've got Phillip Wilson. He is the founder and CEO of Relax Saunas. We'll let him finish that statement here in a second and why it is. But we'll stop it there for intrigue. Phillip, welcome to the show.
It's a delight. This is going to be a lot of fun for all of us. I can almost guarantee it.
Phillip, why saunas? I mean, you know, we talked pre-episode. You've lived a life of many things, which I want to talk to and set the table for our audience. But what got you into sauna?
Well, you know, when I was 15, 16, I think I experienced the sauna. I don't even know where and how or where, but just, it was like, oh my gosh, it felt so good, sweating. And every time a drop of water would drip, I felt more revitalized. And this is even, you know, way before I awakened, you know, but I was just, you know, sort of naive. And, you know, I have since remembered, you know, a couple scenes from 4, 5, 6 different lifetimes. So, you know, I came into this world not awakened to who I was. And when I discovered that, it changed my whole trajectory. So it's been a lot of fun. My journey and science is very important because I grew up as a mathematician. I was child prodigy. I finished first, second, third, and fourth in the state of Indiana. national and statewide math exams. I got an 800 on my SAT, and I solved 4 or 5 different problems during my senior year, and I was published in national math magazines. But then came all the transformation, all the changes. And you asked me a question, and I haven't finished answering. Tell me the question, and I'll finish answering it.
Well, I think you got to where we're going. I'm going to come back to that question because I think sauna is going to be part of this story. So, are we officially talking to a genius, Phillip? Is that what I just heard?
Well, I used to wonder if I was crazy or whether I was a genius.
Aren't those things very mutually very close?
Yeah, I mean, I really thought I was crazy almost. And I finally decided that I was not crazy.
I'm glad we talked earlier. I mean, it sounds like self-discovery meets self-mastery on some level is what I'm hearing.
Well, it's Socrates said through Plato, he said, to know thyself. And he also said something that I thought was really uplifting. He said, the Oracle of Delphi spoke, and it said to the people, they asked it a question, who's the wisest man in Greece? And the Oracle, is said Socrates was. And word got around to Socrates that he was the wisest man in Greece. He said, this is impossible because I don't know anything. So he made it a mission of his to go around to all the supposed wise men in Greece, and he discovered he was the only one who knew he knew nothing. All the others thought they knew something.
I've known that about myself for quite a bit.
Yeah,
especially as it relates to my wife.
Yes. Yeah, it hits home. It is at home where you. Well, this is what happened to me. My girlfriend moved in about a little over a year ago, and there's so many things that she was doing that I used to do and I no longer do. And so I think enlightenment is when, I jokingly say, well, when you can go to McDonald's and get a number 7 and then go down to Walgreens and get 4 packs of cigarettes, Capri, magenta shorts, you're semi-enlightened. And then when you go to, then we can get Kroger's or Smith's and get Stouffer's TV dinners, and not even flinch, then you're totally enlightened, because all these things I was against, and I didn't one of my favorite sayings is being for or against anything exiles you, locks you into duality, and exiles you from the God consciousness state. So, I've learned that judgment is the worst thing in the world that a person can do to themselves. And we do it all the time. And if I could go one day without judging, I would be enlightened. As a matter of fact, if I could go 5 seconds, I'd probably be enlightened. It's like I'm at the airport and I caught myself judging 20 different times in 1 second. I said, okay, I have the antidote. You know what the antidote is?
Take a nap.
It's observe. For 5 months, I'm trying to figure out why this one person can't understand the difference between a judgment and an observation. And I figured out there's a dark lining in a judgment that you don't find in an observation. You know what that is?
Yeah, I think you're going to tell us.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you. It's a complaint.
Yeah. Let's talk about sauna. What got you into sauna?
I joined gyms 3 times in my 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, or whatever. And all I wanted to do was do their sauna, because I just love saunas. So I've got a business selling to health food stores, and I have a health food store, and I'm selling to health professionals, massage tools and cutting edge products like Chinese herbal combinations, chlorine dioxide, essential oils, medicinal mushrooms, green foods. I was selling all this in the 80s when no one else was. And so I'm selling massage tools at conferences maybe 12 times a year. And so I do a biological dentist conference in Las Vegas, of all places, around 2000. And the next day at the same hotel, there's a spa show. And I got a ticket to it. I went in, and there was one of my massage tool suppliers at their booth with a portable sauna. I said, "Oh my God, you can have a sauna in your home?" I mean, there are many stories of children on Christmas morning, just so excited. And that's how I felt. I mean, it was like, oh my gosh, a dream come true that I didn't even know I had. I ordered a sauna, and then a year later, I got a phone call from the people in Taiwan who from the Relax Sauna company, and they were petitioned by a Japanese company. Can you make electricity? I mean, from electricity, can you create this energy that predominates at the hot springs in southern Japan, where people would go for healing? They said, sure. 10 years later, yeah, make it up a story. They called them up and said, we did it. We did it. We used semiconductor chips. It's an incredible computer technology that you can't do it otherwise. Planck's law says you can't give 100% pure far infrared light that resonates with your cells in your body and the water in your body. You cannot do that 100%. Unless you use semiconductor chips, and we found a way to do it. And so they told me that their advanced technology was more therapeutic. I said, how much is it? They told me. I said, send me one. It arrived from Taiwan, FedEx Express, 2 days later. And I mean, I used to go in my other sauna. It was like a little cheap little camping chair, and had panels around it. And I would go in, and it would take me 18 minutes to sweat. And then after 55 minutes, I felt I had a great sweat, and I was really, really a happy camper for a year until we got the Relax Sauna. And then I became like an ecstatic camper. I mean, the night and day difference was phenomenal. And the Relax Sauna heats up not in 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 minutes. It heats up in 10, 20, 30, 40 seconds. And in 3-4 minutes, you feel like your grandma's giving you the most wonderful, loving hug in the world. Do
you sweat?
Yeah, in about 8 minutes, you start sweating. You start sweating in about 8 minutes. And in about 15 minutes, you're dripping. In 20 minutes, you're drenched. But not only that, you feel like you're almost basking in divine love. There's no harsh energy. It's all soft. It's all loving. And so going back to my sauna experience, it was like night and day. And everyone at my store, everyone at my office, they all agreed this is night and day. And it turns out that the Relax Sauna is all saunas do this to a degree, but the Relax Sauna, because it has 100% of that loving light, what it does, it gets you into the parasympathetic nervous system where there's no time. And I have a beautiful definition of pain. You want to hear it?
Oh, yes.
Okay. It's the awareness of time. Now, have you ever hurried?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever worked?
Daily.
Have you ever waited? Those are very subtle, but very painful activities. That's why I mentioned before, my company is called Relax Saunas of Momentum. I was meditating in 1997. Strangely enough, I went back to my apartment or my house at around 3:00, and I started meditating, which was strange for me. And I wake up and I'm watching the word transformation. I was trying to find a company name with the word transformation, and going back into the heart of creation, like a moth to the flame, and then I'm in my body and my third eye is wide open. You remember, we're not talking about woo-woo. My third eye is wide open. And I'm looking at this picture, and I sound sane, but I'm looking at this gorgeous lake. With lakes around, it's beautiful. And then in the middle of it is a volcano-like structure, like that I learned that cable brown, gray, going all the way from the base to the top. It was like a cone. And then I'm just looking at it, appreciating it, observing, having fun, grazing. And then all of a sudden out pops a little lottery ball with the word momentum on it. I said, oh, damn, what a mundane word. I was trying to find something exotic in my company name. And so, after I say that, they say, here the little lottery ball pops up with the word momentum, and I heard the word momentum. And then they say after that, taking advantage of the moment. I said, oh, did you realize momentum comes from the word moment? It's obvious, but we don't think about that. So I'm saying, oh, wow. Okay. And I've accepted the fact this is my name. And then I imagine myself, what else do you do once you have a name of a company? You create stationery, right? So I was creating my stationery back in those days before we had computers. This is in the 90s. Then they said, when I'm saying to this, there's something missing, like the in the Wendy's commercial where the 81-year-old lady says, where's the beef? Yep. So I'm saying, okay, where's the beef? And then they said, propelling yourself into greatness. And I said, wow. And then the damn door closes shut. I'm in blackness. So anyway, I write it down on a database, and it took me I couldn't remember that for the life of me until I found the database, what that was, what those three phrases. But taking advantage of the moment is key, because that means living in the moment and listening. And so if you're listening and that next wave comes by, you step in front of it and it propels you into greatness. I'm not very fond of belief, by the way. You know why?
Why?
Well, because I like to know. And if you believe something, it basically means you don't know it. And there's, how
there's doubt.
Yeah. Well, and the doubt is very helpful. Doubt is the way to get you into your heart. Okay. It's really healthy to doubt, because you question beliefs instead of being like a sieve. Like when we're born into this world, we're like a sponge. Anything they say, we just believe, because after all, our parents wouldn't lie to us. But belief, the signature of, like a walnut is good for the brain because it looks like the brain. Certain like pomegranate, actually, if you look at it, the inside, it looks like a womb and the female organs. And so it's really good for and every plant can have a signature. Obviously, a kidney bean is probably good for the kidneys. So the signature of the word belief is in its spelling. You know how to spell belief? You want to spell it for me? And I'll tell you when to stop.
B-E.
Stop. Go ahead.
B. Leaf.
L-I-E.
Oh, I-E-F.
Yeah, L-I-E, stop.
Yeah. L-I-E,
yeah.
lie.
Yeah, right.
B-Lie-F.
Right. So a belief is a lie. And you're a slave to your beliefs. You are a slave to your beliefs.
Interesting. I think people listening to this show probably know sauna on some level. And I know it on some level.
Yeah.
But I don't know that everyone knows, just truly how good for you it is and how healing and all of that. So maybe get into the science a little bit.
Yes.
With your wisdom, Phillip, I know we could probably go into some territory that might get some people not knowing what we're talking about, but I have a feeling you can share it in a way that people digest.
Yeah. I've been using saunas for 23 years, almost every day. I turned 76 last July. So I started when I was 53. And I don't know anything that gets you activated into the parasympathetic mode out of electricity than the relaxed sauna or far infrared saunas in general. But hyperthermia is the increasing of the body temperature to a degree that it kills everything that's in the way of your body functioning optimally. Yet at the same time, it doesn't kill the body. And you can look at all the research and what happens when you have a fever. Number one, you detoxify the body. Number two, you increase circulation and lower blood pressure. And that gets rid of the inflammation. And because of the increased circulation, a stagnant pond is a great breeding ground for mosquitoes. and stagnant areas of your body are great breeding grounds for mold and bacteria. So when you get the circulation moving, and by the way, this also, they say in the Andrew Goyton did some research and says 15 minutes in a Fahrenheit sauna is like 45-minute cardiovascular workout or a 4 to 6 mile run in terms of the health benefits of those. The third thing that the sauna having a fever does, it oxygenates the body, floods the body with oxygen that kills the anaerobic bacteria, and it kills a lot of the parasites. The more you get it to increase, the more you're effective in doing that. But the fourth and most exciting thing is what I indicated earlier. You activate the parasympathetic nervous system. And that gets you into the now where there is no time. And when there's no time, your nervous caffeine mind can't get in your way. That's why healing takes place when we sleep, because the mind can really mess with you, as we talked about.
Chris, I know you're a big sauna guy. How's this stuff relating to what your experiences have been?
I mean, I agree with everything that's being said. You know, the sauna definitely gets me in that timeless present moment, you know, which I think we can't get that without a bit of uncomfortability, whether it's a run, whether it's sitting in the sauna. But for me, I mean, I do it every day, even if it's just for like you mentioned, cardio. It's a great heart workout, relatively easy, right? You're sitting there, you're not running. So, but I swear by it. I mean, I'm a big believer that sweating is something we need to do every day, and our body needs a reset every day, and it needs to clear out, you know? So I feel like, you know, Phil was kind of saying, I think pre-episode even, where every time I feel that sweat drip and I feel more revitalized, I feel like that's all like just crap leaving my body. Yeah. I feel great.
It's like, you know, I've been in love with saunas all my life, but I never did it because, you know, I joined gyms to try to do it. But having one in your home, oh my God, that's like every morning after I'm up for 1 minute, I'm in this, I drink my water and I'm in the sauna, and a 20-minute sweat is all it takes. And it puts a cup of coffee to shame in the morning. I was a coffee drinker. I started at age 12 when they told me I was allergic to chocolate. And I was up to 5 cups a day as a mathematician. You know, you go into the library, you study math, all you do is drink coffee all day. And I just went cold turkey on it. You know, I didn't make a decision. It just happened because every time I drank, after I had my out-of-body experience, my body chemistry changed, and I couldn't drink coffee without getting stomach aches, you know, and nervous. And so I quit doing it. Again, the body chemistry is always changing, and that's why it's so important to listen, And I call getting into the relaxed sauna, especially truth serum, because it grounds you. And you know, I don't know, talking about vibes, I saw a video about a year ago, and you know, the lady was saying that there's a particular attitude or word that is the most purest and highest vibration that we can have. And it's the attitude of authenticity, not love, but when we're authentic. And that to me is when you're surrounded by divine love, you're grounded, and there you are balanced. And that's when you're authentic, and getting in the relaxed sauna really brings that sense of authenticity to me.
What's the protocol? How long?
You know, if you look at the sauna behind me, there's a towel, a bath towel folded on the chair, and then there's a drape towel. Usually the bath towel is underneath the towel. And you go in, turn it on, in 30 seconds, you feel warm and toasty. In 3 minutes, you feel like your grandma's giving you a loving hug. In 8 minutes, you start sweating. 15 minutes, you're dripping. 20 minutes, you're drenched. You've had it. If you want, you can go longer, but in 20, as a matter of fact, it gets so hot. Sometimes if you want to stay longer, you have to use the sophisticated temperature control device that comes with a sauna. And that's called a zipper. You just, it gets so hot, you can't handle it unless you're meditating or you have to move your body. And then finally, after 8 years of doing that, I finally remembered something I said in a talk. It's the light, not the heat. It's the light, because this is far infrared light. It's invisible, and it's what it does. It bounces off the walls because the wall is made out of silver. The tent has silver in the inside or silver on the outside. Now, what's nice about the relaxed sauna, there's two kinds of treatments. We're the only sauna you can do this, because all the other saunas take 10 to 40 minutes to preheat. Because of the technology, they don't have the advanced semiconductor chip technology. So you can go in the relaxed sauna, and I do this at conferences. I've been to over 500 conferences in the last 23 years, demonstrating the relaxed sauna. Many, alternative medical doctors, functional medical doctors, etc. And you go in for 5 to 7 minutes with your clothes on, without sweating. You will get rid of, guaranteed, 50% to 100% of your pain every time. And besides that, you will feel like your grandma's giving you a big loving hug. It's different than any other sauna you can experience. And I go to conferences, people have $8,000 wooden saunas, and they go to me, well, I have a real sauna. I said, that's nice. Yeah, but it's not nearly this is 3 or 4 times more therapeutic. We sent to Harvard MIT Science and Technology Lab the relaxed sauna, a $1,300 portable sauna, and a $250 Amazon sauna. We came back, the $1,300 sauna was 20% more depth of and intensity of penetration than the Amazon sauna. We were 450% more therapeutic in terms of the depth of the intensity and penetration, and 350% of that. We were measured for the 4th time as 100% far infrared between the magical frequency of 7 to 14 microns by the 4th university that measured us. And the other portable sauna was only 8% of that magical frequency, and the Amazon was 0%. And we had 1/12 the EMF of the low EMF full spectrum $1,300 sauna. So it's amazing, it's amazing the difference between the relaxed sauna using semiconductor chip technology.
If you're going to spend the time to do it, you want to be using what's effective. And that's what I'm hearing. And where can everybody learn more about what you're doing, Phillip, and the sauna?
Okay, well, it's relaxsaunas.com. That's plural, relax, and then saunas. It's actually underneath, next to my name. And I think that we ought to give someone a code, a discount code. So let's give people a Vibe 25.
Okay.
And if they go into the relaxsaunas.com website and they decide to purchase a sauna, either the silver or the black, they will get $100 off at checkout if they put in the discount code Vibe 25. And that way we'll see how much your audience responded, and we'll also save them $100. So it'll be good for them, good for us.
Yeah, very generous of you. Vibe 25, get $100 off the saunas. We really appreciate you coming on, Phillip. And I meant that when I get to Las Vegas. Could listen.
Where do you live?
I'm in South Carolina.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Now, by the way, I do have 2 websites that are sort of like half on my book, picturesofthemind.com, picturesofthemind.com, and then philipawilson.com. I'm not sure what's on there, but there's some good stuff on there.
Perfect, Phillip. We'll have links to all of this as well as the Vibe 25 code. We really appreciate you for coming on. Vibescience.com will have links to all the stuff, the code, as well as the YouTube channel. We appreciate Phillip for coming on. You know where to find us. We're always online. Ryan Alford and Chris Broby Hansen on Instagram. You can follow along there, our health and wellness journeys. We don't have it all figured out, folks, but we're bringing the specialists, bringing it all to you to empower you to your highest vibe. We'll see you next time on Vibe Science.
The content discussed on this show is provided for reference and educational purposes. The content is not an attempt to practice medicine or provide specific medical advice. Always consult your personal physician for medical advice and proper diagnosis.
Thanks for listening. This is Vibe Science. To learn more or watch full episodes, visit vibesciencepodcast.com. Here's to discovering your highest vibe